Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. Let me think for a second. What do I want to say? I want to say, of course, welcome. I want to say if you're enjoying our videos and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. When you subscribe, be sure and tap on the little notification bell so you're notified every time we put up a new video. Now, everybody's been pretty bored and staying in. I know it because you've been watching our videos, and boy, do I like that. That's neat. And I have gotten some of the most beautiful, wonderful comments from a lot of people, and I really have enjoyed them. Anyway, moving right along, with things being what they are, we're kind of at a standstill on some things, and other things we aren't. Some people are open, some people aren't. I'm doing the things I can do, getting some caught up on some of the old projects. This is my road bike, and what this road bike is about is distance. I get on this bike and I can be gone for several weeks at a time. Nobody's looking. I could take a month too. That makes me pretty happy. But anyway, I put this bike back together again a little while back after a pretty bad collision, and I put it back together with a fresh frame and all that. There are things in the motor that have displeased me, so one of the things I want to do right now is I'm going to change this cam. Now, I don't push products and all that sort of thing, and I'm not really going to discuss what kind of a cam is in it at the moment, but basically what I'm doing is putting a cam with a little less lift and a little more duration there. I think it'll get the same volume of fuel and air through it, but at a little different point in the game. So anyway, here we are. I'm going to do this right now. We're going to do it in two episodes because otherwise it would take too long. So what we're doing today is removing the cam. Oh, don't forget, at the end of this video, we will show some kind of another part for the project bike, which is still gathering parts. And I can't put that chassis together yet until I get, until the shop is open that's going to straighten the front end for me. Anyway, this bottom end on this bike, because it's been sitting here, not doing anything, it has filled up with oil. Typical wet sumping, no big deal. So what we're going to do right now is put that pan under there, and I also want to get in here with this marker and see that I mark where the ignition is set on its studs right now. I mean, I'm going to check the timing again when I put it back together, but I'd really like to have it exactly where it is. So, of course, with that cam, it may be different anyway, but I'd like to know how different. So I marked that with a felt marking pen, and now I can take the screws out of here and pull that ignition plate out. There's one of the screws that holds that ignition plate. This is a Dynatech ignition. I'm not advertising it, I'm just telling you what's here. And this is one that I program on the computer. Oh, pull that plate out of there very carefully. It's always hard with the wires there. That's an awful big bundle of wires to deal with in here. But there it is, it's out. And whoa, I forgot. I need a 5/16 socket out of that red flat box that's over there. I don't know if you saw it or not. No, it's over there still. I need a 5/16 socket, and if you will excuse me for a moment, I'm going to go get it. And I got it. And hopefully, we made it back without unplugging the mic. And everyone is complaining about me. Not everyone, but people are complaining about me and my microphone cord. I'm not being high-tech enough. I mean, a high-tech guy would have a Bluetooth mic. Instead, we got another kind of mic here. Not quite as high-tech. Okay. Now we need to take this little cup out of here, which is on the end of the cam. And has the windows in it to actuate this ignition, this electronic ignition. There's the screw, and there is the little cup. All right. Now that we have that out of there, we can take all of the bolts loose from the cam cover. And that certainly won't take long. Now I removed the tappet blocks before we started. Here's both tappet blocks with their lifter assemblies in them. These are hydraulic lifters. They are Velvet Touch. And we'll get all these screws out of here. If I remember correctly, there's only 6 of them. And we will be right at the cam in a minute as soon as we pull the cover off. Although, once we pull this cover, the oil is going to run out of here into that pan. All right. What I'm going to do is make a spot here for those cam cover screws. I like to lay them in order so that I put them back in the same order that they came out. Same holes. And that would be simply like that. All right. Now, we can take my cam cover puller. This is a homemade unit I made a lot of years ago. I know there's some factory-made ones now. But believe it or not, there was a time when these cone motors, which came out in 1970, before 1970, there wasn't a cam cover like this. And when they made those, then they, after a while, they went, gee, pulling them off with the screwdriver's messing them up. I think I need a puller of some sort. And so most of us made our own. I don't think I was even working in a shop when I made this. Well, yes, I was. It wasn't a motorcycle shop. I was working in a facility down at LA Harbor. Okay, we'll get those in there all the way. Now, those are taking the place, of course, of these screws, which are in there to hold the ignition plate. So now, with these nuts kind of cinched up on here, and I can look inside, and I can see where that big bolt is going. I remember making that bolt. I had to thread it clear up and taper the ends so it would seat into the cam. Okay, all the screws are out. Want to be sure. and a 9/16 wrench, and this cam cover will pull right off of here, and the oil is going to run down into that drain pan, and life is good. A lot of oil. A lot of good, expensive oil. Oh well. And that cover just slid right off. It's a beautiful thing. And I can look in there and see that. Before I take it off, well, it's too late. I already did. It would be nice to take the puller off. So we'll get that done. And then we'll pull that cam out of there. There's that. You can see how nice that slid off of there with that puller. Pretty simple little puller. Piece of steel, a couple of 832 screws, and a 3/8 course bolt. Alrighty, I'm going to put that pan right there. I'm going to put that cover right there. And now, it's going to be really complicated to get that cam out of there. It's going to be just like that. I've run this cam for quite a few miles, but this bike is going to be used for some different things than I've been using it for. It's still going to be my long-range road bike, but it's going to be pulling a sidecar because I want to take my puppy dog with me. And so that's why I'm going to need it that way. So there you have it. The cam is removed, and we can get back in here in a little bit and put the new cam in, or the next cam in. The only other thing I want to do is look at what we've got for parts for the project bike coming up. Again, it's slow coming. The world is moving at kind of a slow pace at the moment, and I'm trying to get along with it. Now, we've already got the frame and fender and the front end which has to go to the shop to be straightened. We've got the oil tank and battery plate. We've got the rear brake. And I was at a swap meet in fact, Mike and I were at the swap meet in Gardena a while back, the El Camino swap meet, all the antique bikes. It was just beautiful. We had a ball there. And I found this rim. It's what I was looking for. This is an alloy rim. I believe it's a Barani. I believe it's what the Hot Rod XLCH Harleys came with in about 1959 in the early 60s. It's a 19-inch front rim. And that's what's going on this bike. Normally I run a 21. This time I want a 19 because of a specific tire I want to run, which only comes in an 18 or 19-inch tire. So anyway, I've got a set of spokes. I need to order a hub for this, and I'll show that when it comes in. And we'll be building a front wheel and brake setup and all that. But this is the new part, which I've been polishing by hand. Okay, in our next video, what we're going to do is install the cam. And as soon as we finish installing that cam, we'll show the next part for the new project. So until then, see you out on the road.